I tire of idleness. Let's
Hey
move.
everybody, welcome back to Starfyre Gaming. I am Sir Joseph, and this is Warhammer 40k Rouge Trader. And I just realized our character has a female voice.
They say a little bit of humility never hurt anyone. I help others better themselves by wholeheartedly humiliating them at every step.
I don't think we can change that. Oh well, that's what it is. We have an old injury. Alright. So, when we last here, we got jumped by Kunrad. He stabbed us with a blade, and now we've got like a demonic voice in our head. These were his minions, and they just got burned to a crisp. Now we need to go in and check out the warrant of trade.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Let it be known by the will of the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of a warrant of trade, bestow upon them, their dynasty, something else. To be a paragon of humanity, unbroken by adversaries, to walk bravely into the darkness, to unite and reclaim what was lost, to triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily. Just too fast for me to read. I'm a slow reader to begin with.
Escort the child of the house to safety.
The servo skull's crackling gradually turns into comprehensible words. What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel standing by.
Are you the Warrant Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel, designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the Rouge Trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
I need a weapon. I am utterly defenseless.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
The servo skull goes silent. Its relays clicking. Seconds after second passes, and you realize that the servo skull will not answer you. I need to contact someone, preferably Theodora.
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
Faster! Restore communication with the Navigator sanctum! I'm trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once! I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
In place of the mechanical screeching, the servo skull's box projects the voice of Theodora von Valencia, distorted and written with static, yet still recognizable beyond doubt.
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
Lead me away from here.
Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
The servo skull twitches and makes a few clicks. Enormous gates match the importance of the thing they protect. Yeah, he's getting all sorts
A
of
new
stuff.
challenge for me.
All right, seal the warrant chamber.
Master, whatever are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me, what is the meaning of this?
Seneschal Abelard Worsarian has lost some of his former polish. His forehead is sweating, and one of his sleeves of his coat torn and soaked through with blood. Nonetheless, despite his heavy breathing, he stands firm and his gaze is demanding, a blight somewhat surprised. He surveys the carnage around him. His brow furrows, and he places his hand on his weapon. Kunrad Voitvir is a traitor. When we parted ways with Yaw on the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here. He stabbed me, that's how.
What?
Seneschal's eyes widen. He intended to take revenge on Theodora for something, and trying to reach the warrant was somehow part of that plan.
Oh, holy God, Emperor. I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And, Master, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora.
Abelard clutches his forehead. He looks lost for the briefest of moments, but then quickly finds his resolve again. Voitvir openly admitted that he is the mastermind behind the mutiny.
Saint's blood! And it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive, and now safe, Master. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And, for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
Abelard examines you critically. He hands you a weapon. We received an axe, an auto pistol, flak chest plate, and a medikit. Alright, so inventory. Alright, so we need an axe, pistol, some armor. Alright, so map, just let's journal tell us to do. Yep, we accepted it.
Look no further.
Ah.
Let's patch you up. That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead.
Abelard nods in satisfaction.
The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the Navigator and the Master Helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the Navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
He pauses when the lights flicker yet again. What exactly has gone wrong with the translation?
I am no helmsman. Oh, God Emperor preserve me, Navigator. However, I have spent my entire life aboard void ships equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Gellerfield has faltered. Perhaps the Navigator was struck down by warp corruption and is fighting for the last shreds of his humanity as we speak. If we get thrown off course, we will be forever lost in the war. Naturally, we would likely not have long to live in that scenario. But I will not resign myself to such an outcome just yet.
How did you find me?
You sent me a Vox message. Specifically, a Vox cast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. You mean to say you did no such thing?
Abelard tilts his head and looks at you with worry. I think the Warrant Sentinel may have sent that message. It appeared when I opened the chamber.
Warren Sentinel? The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort.
He looks at the servo skull, floating next to you.
The Warren Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the Sentinel to awaken. But then, why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same?
He frowns. What can we expect to find in the Navigator's sanctum?
During warp transit, the sanctum is closed to all who are not involved in traversing the Imperium. And for good reason. For the Navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the sanctum must be bathed in the energies of the immaterial. Only a Navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with the warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death.
Abelard does not bat an eye as he lists all the horrors that you are about to face. I heard one of Theodora's Vox casts.
Lady Theodora's. Which one? The last one I received was about the Navigator's sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course.
The Navigator's sanctum. Very well. Will you lead the way?
Absolutely. Let us proceed.
To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor! Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might, destroy those who have dared!
A wave of static suddenly erupts from the servo skull, and you can make out Theodora's words through the noise.
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the Rogue Trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward!
Seneschal's eyes light up, and he smiles with grim determination.
You will die screaming! Won't save you!
Don't you dare to cross us!
Your Emperor won't save you!
Alright, so now we get a start. Pick a place to start and go with it. I'll start there. And that's Abelard. And I'll start there.
I serve the ruinous powers! Death to non-believers! Death to the weak! Ah!
Right. Look at that, we can attack all of them at once.
All too.
Too far away to charge, so let's just charge
Not a
from
problem
here.
for me.
At your beck and call. I took care of this one. I will do my duty. Reduce to dust!
Brace for impact.
Out of my way!
Just a minor setback.
So, as you can tell, there is friendly fire in this.
Already done. Suits my purposes.
Leading on him.
Victory is imminent. One fewer target.
All right. Got loot. Laser pistols and swords. There's only 2 of us, so we don't need a ton of swords. These are all swords, so we're going to put all of these into our cargo. No more loot. Let's do inventory. The sword does more damage than the axe. Doesn't have the sweep. Doesn't have as much armor penetration. But it also looks better, so. Laser pistol is definitely better. It only has the burst. It doesn't have a single shot, but we're going to take that because it does better damage than that. So then you can right-click on stuff and you can send it to cargo. Oops, thanks, we're going to level up. So you level up, you come to the wheel, and you just do the next thing on the wheel. Choose a skill. Just do athletics. Let's do carouse. Medikit. Chainsword is definitely better. Cargo. There we go. He didn't have a pistol. Now he does. And we can leave. Alright, so we need to go to the Navigator Sanctum.
The Navigator Sanctum is directly along the passageway. I pray to the God Emperor that we are not too late.
And so, he will enter the halls of the blinded guide and witness the radiance of the final dawn through the cracks and fall victim to a whim of fate.
The woman before you whips around and gazes straight at you, her eyes glowing with otherworldly light.
Master, watch your head. Idira, Would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
Abelard grumbles as he dusts himself off and grips his weapon again.
Sorry, old man. The voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abelard, how they sing!
The woman bursts into a guttural, drunken laughter.
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valencius. Idira?
Abelard looks her up and down.
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate. To die in the waves of the immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn. And in the roaring blaze, I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer.
The entity in your consciousness shrieks and crawls in deeper, its claws scraping against the walls of your mind, as if the presence is trying to hide from the seer standing before you. The diviner, are you?
The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud.
Idira nods, yet her gaze is directed somewhere away from you.
And you are von Valencius, one of Lady Theodora's heirs. Well then, we finally meet.
Idira turns her head to you, her vacant eyes flaring like embers.
Officer's frequency. To all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
You hear a few clicks from the relay on the servo skull, which has followed you all the way here, and Theodora's scrambled words give way to a voice vaguely familiar to you.
That's Edelthrat. Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelthrat's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
Abelard spits out a florid curse. How do you know who I am?
What? You think Lady Theodora didn't ask me to peek into the darkness behind the backs of those she sees as her prospective heirs? I have seen you. I have seen the footsteps of your past and the wounds of your heart.
Idira laughs in a deep voice. You flinch at the seer's words. No doubt she's referring to the nightmares, the tortures inflicted upon your body and mind. Your muscles contract involuntarily as if steeling themselves once more for the inevitable pain. What are you doing here?
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the Navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the enginarium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
What? You don't mean the Enginseer Prime is...
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the Navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
We must see if the Navigator is well.
Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity. But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a Navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
I don't know if any of you watch Futurama, but her voice actress sounds like Hermes' wife. Adira freezes. Then she slaps her cheeks, rubs her face, and looks at you. The supernatural glow is gone from her eyes, and a smirk spreads across her lips. There's really anything else to do here, so... Hurry! Destroy the field! Don't keep our master waiting! Now, even those are going to go by faster than I can read most times, so...
Victory awaits! We'll find you soon enough.
You'll
All right.
make a suitable sacrifice?
Let's put Ignatius here, Abelard here, and Adira here.
Out of my way!
Oh, my ears are ringing.
Crush the feeble.
Chaos guides me!
A tactically sound approach. Indeed. Reduced to dust. At your beck and call. It will be done.
Nothing of value has been lost. I'll pass. Not my specialty.
Can't run to there. Can't charge to...
Nothing I can't do.
Please stay in some cover. Alright, so this is a psychic. When this gets high, the higher this gets, the more risk we are of psychic problems.
What is this foreboding?
And this, you see by the red mark here, is how much that will raise it by using this lightning blast. And even our shriek will raise it a little bit. So this would do more on it. I don't really want to risk it anymore. This will let her do more damage to people. When she attacks them.
Hold on!
And he probably shouldn't try to run away.
I took care of this one.
He probably shouldn't have tried to run away. The creature in the chair appears as if it has become one with its throne. You see pink, parchment-like skin stretched between the seat and the limbs that have too many joints for a normal human being. The Navigator is breathing heavy, the air whistling as it exits through the two dark gill-like slits in his cheeks. The creature's eyes are shut, the two ordinary eyes as well as the third one that sits in the center of his forehead.
I believe Master Vespider still lives. The servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive.
Abelard flinches at the sight of the stretched skin and the dark marks on the face of the creature. Address the Navigator. Hey, are you alive?
Your time is short.
The Navigator stirs, barely able to lift his head and half open his normal eyes. A dark drop rolls from under the closed lid of his third eye and down his face, leaving behind a black trail. The voice coming from the box grill at the base of the bizarre chair. It is unclear how the Navigator is able to produce human speech. Our time is short. To do what?
Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn.
Suddenly, the Navigator's body starts thrashing in place. It lurches forward, then falls back onto the seat, then thrusts forward again as its bones crack and its skin tears open. However, the fusion between the body and the chair appears to be stronger than these wild impetuses. The mutant remains seated, but leans as far forward as it can, his layered remnants slowly turning crimson. The gill slits burst open, forming two hideous, screaming mouth-like pits.
Ah! It came from beyond! His body is not his!
Idira shrieks in terror. Idira's scream is echoed by the silent cries in your head. The unseen creature triumphs at the sight of the Navigator succumbing to the paroxysms of corruption.
Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me.
The Navigator continues to convulse violently in his seat, shrieking and cackling, but then his fit stops abruptly. His face is drenched in black prism. Crimson. The dark ooze from under his third eyelid has turned from a trickle to a stream, mixed with the blood coming out of his nose, and there is purplish swelling around the eye.
Run. Flee from this place while I still have the strength. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the warp. But it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help.
The words come out of the box as a labored rattle. Who torments you?
The Edge. Kneel before the ascent of a new champion. When the rite is complete, this shell will burst, and thousands of Moors will accept the sacrifice offered to the edge of daybreak by the bringer of twilight, the one marked by the will of the gods.
The Navigator starts thrashing about once more, his gill mouths bursting with cursed, crazed laughter. Each word rings through your head like a tolling of a bell, as if countless voices have joined in, screaming into your ears. For a moment, you lose your bearings. This unholy chorus must be trying to confound you with sounds not meant for this world. What is that supposed to mean?
A rite. A sacrifice offered. Oh. My heart tells me that Kunrad was not deterred by his defeat in the warrant chamber.
What Hunrad betrayed Lady Theodora? Oh, but how is that? How? He was as loyal as a dog. And I didn't hear a thing, I swear.
Adira clutches her head.
The footfalls of the bringer of twilight are veiled by the will of his masters. Tear out your eyes. She who is to become the champion's servant, for you need them no longer.
The Navigator, or rather the thing that is so determined to seize his body, erupts into mocking laughter. Dress Abelard, the Navigator is still alive, but barely so. What do we do now?
The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Edelthrad and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms that the servo skull relayed to us earlier.
The Seneschal gazes at the figure in the chair.
Vespidas, good luck. And thank you.
Adira reaches her hand out towards the Navigator, but pulls it back at the last moment. The Navigator does not give her a response. Black tears mixed with blood are streaming from under his closed eyelids, and the Vox at the base of the chair is bellowing out static, interspersed with distant echoes of otherworldly laughter. All right. Do a little looting. We don't need the axe. Auto guns. Don't need the axe. So that's what she's got. Oh, she has a laser pistol.
It's about time.
No loot in here. Way loaded the other scenes quicker. There we go. Auto saved.
Your ship's as good as ours. It's all over for you.
I shall pity not your enemies. I shall heed not their pleas.
Somebody shoot this.
Shall betray not your tenets, nor stray one step from them. Take not your gaze from me. Leave me not without your grace.
I told you he would protect us.
My God, my light, my emperor.
The white-haired warrior turns to face you, her dark eyes blazing. The weapon quivers in her hand, and, for a brief moment, it seems she is not going to stop, and will instead continue eliminating every target she sees, starting with you.
Sister Argenta! Sister Argenta, it is a relief to see you. We require all the forces we can muster.
The Seneschal's voice seems to bring the warrior out of her battle trance.
Your face, it is unfamiliar. Who are you?
The young woman called Argenta lowers her weapon and scans her small party with an intent gaze. Then she sets her sights on you. Ignatius von Valencius, Lord Captain's heir.
The hour is dark and daunting. The ship abounds with corruption. The faces of friends are twisted by sneers of heresy. The eyes of comrades ignite with the archenemy's hunger. I will do what I must to halt the advance of the dark forces. But in these dire moments, little can be trusted. So I must know, why are you here?
Argenta gives you another stern appraisal. You catch something strange in the depths of her eyes, some internal struggle or wordless question. In the end, however, she nods.
Sister, I beg of you. Now is not the time for interrogations. The ship is under attack by heretics. We've been betrayed by our esteemed Master of Whispers. Edelstrad the Heir is waiting for our aid, and Lord Captain Theodora is expecting a report on our success. We are here to deal with the situation, so I suggest we all do just that.
Abelard appears to be losing his patience. Seneschal is right. There is no time for talk.
Very well. We may leave it at that. For now.
Argenta rises her chin proudly.
I cannot wait to rain righteous fire down upon each and every heretic.
What is a warrior of the Adeptus Sororitaris doing aboard a Rouge Trader ship? Your order serve the ecclesiasticacy, don't they?
Sister Argenta is a guest of the Lord Captain. And that story deserves its own time and conversation. Under more appropriate circumstances.
Abelard shoots her a quick glance.
Enough idle chatter. I am where I must be, and that will suffice.
What is happening on the officer's deck?
Massacre, my lord. And heretics are not just killing the crew. Some kind of blight is sweeping through the decks, filling the air. I saw people going mad the moment they breathed it in, screaming about seeing their dead comrades, tearing out their eyes. I implore you, my lord, be on your guard.
We must get to the main hall of the deck.
Through this door. I shall join you, for it is my duty to the God Emperor to destroy this heresy.
Argenta nods at the passage to your right.
We will follow. For now, we will hold off any heretics who might try to crawl in through the cracks to join the main assault. And we'll take a look at the generators while we're at it. Those villains made a mess of the cables. Oh, I wish we had a Tectomat with us. But we'll see what we can do without one.
Good to hear it. Sister?
Ready. May Terra's light illuminate our path through fire and darkness.
Okay. So there's loot down at the end of this corridor. There's loot right here. Another axe. We don't need... Oh, it's a well-maintained axe. It's better than the other axes, huh? Might be going back to an axe. Oh yeah, it does a ton more damage than that sword. Doesn't look as good, but it's still nice.
I won't tolerate weakness.
The door will be moved an inch. It's blocked. Okay.
I will deliver furious retribution! The Masters demand your death!
Okay, let's put Ignatius there. We will put Abelard here.
Do you see that?
There, and we'll put the sister there.
Such is the will of chaos.
Ow!
Chaos guides me.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Not a problem for me.
Still alive and kicking. Charge won't do anything because he's too close. Momentum is this right here, which triggers critical things. Now there is, like, I can shoot down this line, but I can hit everybody.
I'll do it. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. Doubt is for the weak.
Now this has got a blow through, which means it could go through that guy and hit somebody else, so...
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. As the Emperor commands, indicated.
So I could blew through that one and hit that guy for a bunch of damage.
I serve the ruinous powers!
I know what is to come. Will do.
Let's just do more damage with attacks.
But of course.
Oh, just not.
Reduced to dust! Victory is imminent. I took care of
Charge
this
is
one.
great. Reinforcements!
Indeed.
Death to non-believers! Death to the weak! Out of my way!
You didn't stand a chance. I don't have time for this.
That's right, I'm charged already.
Already done.
Well, that was terrible shooting.
Rejoice in battle! I'll do it. Strike is a prayer.
So that's up, but we haven't unlocked it yet, but that's what that does.
Chaos guides me! Ah! Chaos guides me.
Ouch.
I serve the ruinous powers.
On it. Be gone. Anything else?
And that lasts to the end of combat, which is really nice. It's a permanent buff. Well, as permanent as you can get.
It will be done. I will do my duty.
Nice.
Suits my purposes.
As the Emperor commands, I act. Eradicated.
All right, let's do some looting. We don't need any more scrappy auto guns. So the stuff that gets sent to the cargo we can sell. I mean, we're not really selling it. I mean, so we don't get money in this game. Basically what we get is we get goodness gracious, I can't remember. My brain is just not working all of a sudden. Basically favor with different places, different factions that we sell to. Once we've sold everything,
Follow my lead.
to that we raise our reputation. That's what it is. We raise our reputation with places, and what that does, it allows us to gives us access to more goods that they have, and we just have to meet two criteria. We have to be able to reach the reputation level, and then there's also a basically a how much money you're worth level. I forget what it's called right offhand. That allows us to get items. So we don't really accumulate money.
Experience. Nothing matters more.
One thing I like about this is if you need to make a skill check, the skill check is made with whoever in your party has the best skill.
A new challenge for me?
Tech use gloves, so let's go to our inventory. Who's got the best tech? So I got 25, Abelard has 30, Dira has 30, Argenta has 30. Let's give them to Adira. So she now has a 33 tech.
Victory awaits.
Rouge Trader silent. It seems to steer for the dollar. Okay, so we got a door to open. Tech use is 100%.
The whispers told me how.
Tech use is 100%.
The premonition runs true.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Tech.
That wasn't so difficult.
And a shotgun. So shotguns and pistols can be used, and you can shoot them in melee range as well. So everybody else has got melee and ranged weapons. She just has a pistol, so we're going to give her the shotgun for when things are in melee with her. Because that bolt gun ain't going to do anything in melee. And then Argenta can also use medkits. Now later on we can get a skill that will let us use medkits. But right now we can't. What am I missing loot-wise?
It's about time.
There we go. All right. And this is going to be a good place to call it. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. As always, like, subscribe, and comment. I have been Sir Joseph. You guys are amazing. Until next time, stay safe out there. And I'll talk to you later.